It's an honor to appear before you today.
While our histories differ, Australia and the United States see the world through a similar lens. It is through that lens that we have both been able to identify the rising threat from authoritarian states who, not content with absolute control over their own populations to preserve their own regimes, also seek hegemonic control over their own regions and to recast the world order to accommodate their illiberal objectives. Most significantly, this involves the subordination of a rule of law based on universal human rights to one arbitrarily defined by the state and to draw an equivalence between their regimes and freedom-based societies. The Chinese Communist Party, the CCP government of the People's Republic of China, is such a regime. This will not change, nor can it be negotiated away. The PRC took advantage of the change in government following the 2022 federal election to effect a reset and adopt a different set of tactics. This included abandoning their economic and diplomatic bullying and coercion for more inductive engagement, laced with charm and flattery. That said, the PRC still continues to engage in intimidatory behaviour by their military against Australia when it suits them without remorse. While the CCP's tactics may have substantially changed, their objectives remain the same, namely to neutralise public support for Australian government actions to counter the potential security threat posed by the CCP, such as increased defence spending or restricting investment in critical technologies or sensitive supply chains, to normalise and establish an equivalence between the CCP's authoritarian regime with free societies to provide licence for their activities, to weaken the network of US alliances and partners within the Indo-Pacific that provides an effective deterrent to CCP behaviour, injurious to a free and open Indo-Pacific, including peaceful absorption of Taiwan, and to isolate US influence in the region. I spoke of a free and open Indo-Pacific. That is a threat and a challenge to regime security in China. And I think we have to be clear-eyed about this and not pretend that there is somehow that this is going to be resolved through discussion. Discussion is fine, engagement is good, it's better than the alternative. But if we think that that is going to produce a change in the mindset in Beijing about what their objectives are, then we're frankly kidding ourselves. So you worked to coexist, to avoid conflict. That requires deterrence and a wide-eyed appreciation of what the Chinese state is all about. At every point, even the most moderate of their leaders, like Jiang Zemin, were very clear about the fact that even when they entered most favoured nation status, they still said amongst to their officials that the West, and particularly the United States, is still looking to see us destroy our socialist system. You need to build the internal resilience, and that means an appreciation of the potential threat. And that is somewhat in jeopardy in Australia. There is a greater value on the economic partnership with China than concerns about the security threat, and I'll table that for the committee. That is an objective of the CCP, that Western democracies will go to sleep on the threat. And that's why I think the work that your committee is doing here, the work, and I'd stress the bipartisan work that is done by this committee, and the Ambassador and I perhaps might disagree on some elements of policy, not sure. We'll have to have a beer and find out. But I know one thing. By our statements here today, I think we've sung from the same song sheet as indeed you and the ranking member have.